Hi, this is Johnny Nye from Knowledge Reviews, and I'm actually here with a video game review. Who would have thunk it? Um, but anyway, yeah, I'm trying to get into reviews every Saturday. I have a shit ton of games and a shit ton of stuff that I want to review, and yeah, and also I'm gonna try to be covering at least one story per week. One story which interests me that has to do with basically anything. Alright, but let's not waste any more time with useless crap. Let's get on with the review. Alright, so my first review for coming back from that really long hiatus for some reason is Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Now, Call of Juarez has always been a mixed bag series, meaning that some games are better than others, which in case of most series, but some have been huge, wildly successful, and some have been horribly wrong and stupid. You all know which one I'm talking about. It has to do with cartels. But where does that put Gunslinger necessarily, which is their first game on track for a while? Or at least that's what everyone says it is anyway. Is it really back to the whole Wild West pew, 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 pew thing? Or is it more like just a Western version of a Call of Duty? Alright, so let's start off with I think it's a huge hit. I said it. I think it's a huge hit. Basically, what it is, it's a first person Western Max Payne 3, which is a good thing. Alright, so the gameplay is really fun and addictive. That's the first thing that goes right. It's fast paced and it actually makes you feel like a cowboy. This game is definitely intended for you to dual wield pistols rather than anything else to get the authentic feel. That's what's going to be your. That's what you're going to use most as a weapon is dual wielded pistols. And so there's two different types of gameplay. All right, there's the one where you're running, you're gunning, you're shooting everyone down, you're feeling awesome. The second the second type that you're going to be playing, which is near the end of every chapter, is what is called a showdown. Now, showdowns are basically what happens is you take one analog stick and you focus on the person who you're trying to kill. It's just you versus one person. And by the way, I'm reviewing the PS3 version. I don't know why I didn't say that earlier. So you have one analog stick focused on the person, and the other analog stick is focused on where your hand placement is towards your gun. Now, the closer it is to the gun without going over the hip, the faster the speed. You want your speed to be faster than the other person's. Right? Then you're going to hear a heartbeat. Now, you can kill them dishonorably during that time with the heartbeat, but you get less points. So you want to watch out for that. Now, the second you hear them or you see them go for their gun is the second you are going to tap the trigger buttons to try to kill them. Now, just in case if they get to the gun before you, you do have a chance to dodge the bullet and kill them. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult considering the fact that it's more focused on your hip than your head. Most likely the bullet's going to come towards your head instead of at your hip. So it's kind of hard sometimes to determine where the bullet's coming from. And it's intended to be like that. It's intended to be a challenge. Right? These showdowns also differ from time to time. So, like, for example, without spoiling anything, there's three different types. There's the normal one, or it's just 1v1. There's the double one, which is you versus two people. And then there's the Mexican standoff, which is three people, every man for himself. And that is hectic. I did not do well on that the first couple times that I tried it. But it definitely, it switches it up, which is good. You know, it makes it harder than it than it already is, but it makes it more fun. It's rewarding to level up. It's a fun and addictive experience that you'll have. Now, which everything does fit in with its magnificent story. It's weird. It's told, but like basically has they call it by dime stories, which is a whole bunch of different tales that are exaggerated like hell. And it's fun. It's like different little stories that have to do with something. And so, and it's funny because like the dialogue that goes along with it, the story does change. Like Silas forgets something, or one of them, one of the people who he's telling the story to, they interject, and the story changes along with it. The environment changes along with the dialogue, which is something that's really cool. But yeah, there's more to do after the story. After completing the story, you unlock a new game plus mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's like the regular game, but harder. Makes it so you can fill up all the skill trees that you have, which there are 3 skill trees, by the way, which changed the gameplay dramatically. I went with the dual wielding one because I like dual wielding the pistols. There's also nuggets of truth to collect. There's about 3 to 6 per level, which is pretty cool. Basically, it's like it gives you more information either about the person that you're hunting or the environment that you're in. It's cool little stuff like that. There's also an arcade mode, which is basically go through the levels again and you try to get a good score. You try to get all 3 arcade stars. The higher the score, the more stars that you're going to get. Now, score is more dependent on kill combos, which is basically you kill one person and then you have about 4 seconds to kill another person, rack up your combo, your multiplier. And there's also a duel mode, which is basically you go through all the stories duels that you do, and basically you have 5 chances. You can get killed 5 times, but as long as you try and you go after all of them, so basically what happens is you go through all the duels and you want to try to get through them with little loss of life as possible, and you go through them back to back, so it's not just like it takes you back to the main screen. No, you have to go through them back to back to back to back. And the voice acting is top notch. John Segan, who is Iron Man in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, is Silas. Dale Ingram is who voiced Parker in Red Faction is Jack, and etc. etc. It feels like it's obviously a Western, and that's how it's supposed to be. The voices, there are no voices that don't belong in that case. There is none. Now the music is top notch, and you're gonna notice that from the main menu screen, which it's just completely badass. It's badass. That's all I can really say about that. Now the graphics are cel shaded, which makes it seem like a living comic book, which is a huge plus. Chrome Engine 5 is amazing. It does a really good job at it, and frames stay persistent throughout, even though there was some times where the frame rate dramatically changed, and I died because of it. So not everything is perfect with this game, right? There's difficulty spikes. There's like huge ones, like 1 second you're going to be facing like 2 or 3 people, and then next you're going to get ambushed. Now there's no hints unless there's dialogue, which is there's only 2 times where you get ambushed, like 2 or 3 times where you get ambushed, and there's dialogue hints. The rest is just like, what the fuck, there's all the other guns don't feel as good as the pistols, as dual wielding, at least in my opinion. They all feel really sluggish. It's obviously supposed to be a fast-paced game. The other guns just don't do it for me. And well, speaking of guns, the Gatling guns feel pretty sloppy. It's just a weird thing to do. It's also weird to see other people reload them, and when you use them, it doesn't matter. You don't have to reload. I've never had to reload anyway. Yeah. But despite all this, Call of Juarez gets a 9 out of 10 for me. If it weren't for difficulty spikes in those times where I died due to huge frame drop, it would have easily been a 10. Alright, so I'll see you guys next Saturday with my Castle of Illusion review. Ooh! Alright, take care.